All right, let's get right into it. Every once in a while, a single event happens that just completely redraws the lines of global power. And today, we're going to look at one of those moments, a missile test that pretty quietly reshaped the entire strategic map of Asia and really, the world. I want you to remember this date, August 20th, 2025. Because on that day, from a test range in Odisha, India, launched something that had been literally decades in the making. So what exactly was it that streaked across the sky? Well, this was the moment India successfully test-fired its Agni-5 missile. And believe me, this was so much more than just a routine launch. It proved out a technology that puts India into a very exclusive club. So let's break down exactly what the Agni-5 is and why it really does change everything.
Okay, first things first, let's pop the hood and look inside this incredible piece of engineering. What is it that makes the Agni-5 so formidable? Well, it all starts with one very big number.
That's right, over 5,000 kilometers. Now, to put that into perspective for you, a missile launched from India can now reach targets across all of China, deep into Europe, and even parts of Africa. That kind of reach, all by itself, puts India into an entirely new strategic league. And all these capabilities you see here, they work together to create an unbelievably powerful deterrent. See, it's not just that it's nuclear capable. The real key is that it's road mobile and can be fired from a sealed canister. That means it can be hidden just about anywhere and launched in minutes. This makes it almost impossible for an enemy to find and destroy on the ground, which guarantees India can strike back. And that is the textbook definition of a credible second strike capability. And now we get to the absolute game changer. MIRV technology. This right here is what makes the Agni-5 so revolutionary. India actually first proved it could master this incredibly complex tech back in a March 2024 test, which was codenamed Mission Divyastra. So what in the world is a MIRV? Well, think of it this way. A traditional missile is kind of like a single package being delivered to one address. You get one missile, you hit one target. Simple. But a MIRV-equipped missile, that's more like a delivery truck. It can drop off multiple packages, or in this case, multiple warheads, at several different addresses or targets, all from a single launch.
So here's how it all goes down. The missile launches and heads up into space. The main vehicle then starts releasing its multiple warheads, and each one of those is programmed for its own unique target. As they re-enter the atmosphere, they all travel to their separate destinations. You could probably see why trying to defend against an attack like this is exponentially more difficult.
So let's move on to the so what of it all. This technology isn't just about military might, it's about fundamentally changing the strategic math for India and, well, for everyone in the region. The implications are just huge. First, with this missile, India solidifies its deterrent, making sure it can strike back against any conceivable threat. Second, it totally rebalances the strategic landscape with its neighbors. And maybe most importantly, it's a signal to the entire world that India has achieved technological parity with the global superpowers, and, critically, it did it on its own. India's own defense ministry framed this success perfectly. They called it a marker of self-reliance. And that's not just a message of strength, it's really a declaration of technological independence. It's a huge tribute to the scientists at the DRDO who made this all possible. You have to understand this achievement, developing and operationalizing MIRV technology, it's not something many countries can claim to have done. In fact, it places India in a very, very small and incredibly powerful group of nations.
So just how exclusive are we talking about here? Well, the list of nations that have truly mastered this kind of technology is, frankly, surprisingly short.
And there it is. That's the list. It's basically the permanent members of the UN Security Council, plus India. Joining this group signals a monumental leap, placing India firmly among the world's most advanced military powers.
So the big question is, where does India go from here? Because the Agni-5 isn't the final chapter in this story. No, it's the foundation for an even more advanced generation of strategic technology.
And that work is already underway. We're seeing plans for longer-range variants, specialized warheads designed to take out hardened targets, and even the next generation, the Agni-6, which will likely feature more advanced maneuvering capabilities to evade missile defenses. This isn't just a one-off achievement. It's part of a clear, long-term strategic vision. And all of this leaves us with one final big thought. The Agni-5 is, without a doubt, a massive technological achievement that bolsters India's security. But as more and more nations develop these incredibly powerful systems, it forces us all to ask a much bigger question. In a world of MIRVs and hypersonic weapons,
What does global stability actually rest on? And maybe more importantly, what will the word security even mean in the decades to come?